Ladies and gentlemen, Primetime CP23 here, back with another Diablo 3 starter build guide. This time, we're looking at Season 15. Season 15, I have been waiting for this. So today, we're going to be taking a look at the Monk, who's going to start off with the Raiment of 1,000 Storms set. Not a great starter set. Not terribly fast. It's very strong when you mix in the 6-piece. Was actually part of the push meta for several seasons. It's never got nerfed. It's just not as strong. It's kind of a slow start because it is a generator build. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be grouping things up with Cyclone Strike and using a generator to kill things. Because of this, I am doing this video a little bit differently than normal. Normally the only gem I use is a Bane of the Powerful, because that is the first legendary gem that you get each season. But because this is a generator build, and I was having a lot of trouble getting through a GR20 with the limited amount of gear that I have, which we'll get into in a minute, I did also throw in a Simplicity Strength, which is going to buff the damage of your primary skills by 25% for the level 0 rune. Which, of course, by the time you get to GR20, you probably won't have a level 0, but at the same time, it's going to take you a few GRs before you get a Simplicity Strength. So also included in the build is going to be the 4-piece bonus of the Raiment of 1,000 Storms set R6, which is the 2-piece. Your spirit generators have 25% increased attack speed and 100% increased damage. Also, your 4-piece Dashing Strike spends 75 spirit, but refunds a charge when it does. So basically, you're dashing around, and if you have the spirit, it refunds a charge. If you don't have the spirit, then it costs a charge to use. It means when you're in a group of mobs and you're constantly using your generator, you're going to be able to Dashing Strike for free, which is important for the 6-piece set, which makes you where you have to use Dashing Strike before you can do your max damage. But that's the 6-piece bonus. We're not getting into that right now. So, as for legendary gear, normally I try to do these either with 0 or 1 legendary item, just because it's so inconsistent what gear you're going to be able to get at the start of the season. You will likely have better gear than I have in this video, but I am using 2 legendaries for this particular build. We're going to be using a Bindings of the Lesser Gods, which, as you can see, enemies hit by your Cyclone Strike take 200% increased damage from your Mystic Ally for 5 seconds, which we're using Mystic Ally. Also, we're using Ancient Parthon Defenders, APDs for short. Each enemy stunned within 25 yards reduces your damage taken by 12%. Well, every time you Cyclone Strike, every enemy that gets pulled in gets stunned. So as long as you're Cyclone Striking, you're going to be proccing the toughness bonus on your APDs, and you'll be in good shape. It is important to have some kind of damage buff plus some kind of toughness buff, because especially early on with this build, you are extremely squishy and you're not dealing a whole lot of damage, because yeah, you get a 25% attack speed bonus and a 100% damage bonus to your generators. That's really not a lot, as you'll see in the video, which is playing probably either above me or to that side of me. I don't know which yet. Just depends. So for skills, we're going to be using Crippling Wave with the Mangle rune for our damage dealer. Alternatively, you could use Tsunami if you want to freeze enemies, but Mangle is more damage. Also, if you get a really good two-handed weapon, you can always use Way of the Hundred Fists with Assimilation. Personally, I just prefer Crippling Wave. And for this starter build, I'm using 2 rare fist weapons as opposed to a 2-hander. I tested a little bit with a 2-handed weapon and Way of the Hundred Fist. I just thought it works better with, Monk works better with fist weapons. Plus, you're gonna be trying to upgrade fist weapons so that you can get the Shenlong set. Also so that you can, build into the Sun Wukong build with, Vengeful Wind and Kirashiro's Blade. Took me a second, but I got there. So, that's your skills. Crippling Wave with Mangle. You're going to be using Cyclone Strike with the Implosion rune. Mystic Ally with the Fire Ally rune, which is going to increase your damage passively, and it's going to give your Mystic Ally a buff when you hit the enemy. We're using Desert Shroud on Epiphany for 2 reasons. 1, it's going to be a 50% toughness boost, and 2, because it's going to increase your spirit generation, which is important because when you Dashing Strike, you're using your spirit. Dashing Strike, we're using the Radiance rune, which is going to increase our attack speed after we land, and Mantra of Salvation with Agility for a little toughness boost with some dodge chance. Passives, Near Death Experience is 100% mandatory. It is your cheat death passive. It's how you stay alive. Alacrity is going to increase your attack speed by 15%. Resolve is going to reduce the damage that enemies deal to you. And Harmony is going to take 40% of your overall single elemental resistance and turn it into all resist, which is good. It's very good. Paragon, as always, not using any Paragon except for 50 in movement speed because going around without movement speed really sucks. For stat priorities on your Paragon, I would probably go with either attack speed or crit hit chance first, resist all, and area damage. Life per hit's always good too when you're talking about a generator build like this. But that's going to do it for today's video. As always, marquee level gems only. It's going to be a little rough, but you should be able to, get into higher content pretty quick, as long as you don't mind dying a few times. You're going to be a little squishy. By the way, the reason why I chose bracers is because Monk doesn't really have any particularly good bonuses early on, so it's best to save your blood shards until level 34, at which time you can gamble your blood shards on bracers, and you'll get the ability to get Bindings of the Lesser God, APDs, and, most importantly, Casterian wrist guards, which I will have a full video on in the description down below. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you luck going into Season 15. I'm excited. It's going to be a great grind. And ladies and gentlemen, if you liked this video, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, this is Primetime CP23, and I'm out.